here at the second annual South Florida MMA Awards with founder Frank Morejon. Frank, it's been a night full of celebrities, stars, and a lot of surprises. Break it down for me.
Oh, well, tonight, another amazing night, second annual Florida MMA Awards. We want to thank everyone who came out to support Florida MMA in general. It was a good night. We had Best Fighter of the Year, went to Pro Male Fighter, went to Wagner Rocha, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu champion, undefeated this year in 2013, fought for Fight Time Promotions. Fight Time Promotions had 5 fights this year. Amazing what they're doing. Wagner Rocha is amazing martial artist. Check him out if you don't know who he is, but he's an amazing guy. Champion, I believe he's Fight Time champion as well. We had Best Female Fighter of the Year, which went to Amanda Nunez, MMA Masters, and doing a fantastic job over there. 3-0 in the UFC, undefeated female. She's amazing. Amanda Nunez is awesome. And we also had the Amateur Female Fighter of the Year. Went to Jenny Silverio, the Phoenix, which is actually going pro with Fight Time Promotions in February. Their next card for 2014. And we had Best Amateur Male Fighter, Joseph Bingsley, who amazing guy, just the hard work that he's put in. Don't know when he's going pro, but I don't think he's in any hurry to. But so we covered everything from the pros to the amateurs, best sanctioning body, favorite UFC Florida fighter. Favorite UFC Florida fighter came out to be Mike Rio, the Wolverine. Huge support fan base that was here. But you know what? Everybody who was nominated is a winner. They're what make MMA in Florida. So to break down the numbers real quick, for 2013, we had 18 pro shows this year, over 209 pro fighters who fought in those shows. CFA doing 5 shows, Fight Time Promotions doing 5 shows, XFC, John Prisco doing an amazing thing. They did a show this year as well. We got some out-of-towners, if you will, with Bellator and World Series of Fighting. They came to Florida, did some shows as well. Which World Series of Fighting will be back on January 2014. We're doing it at the Hard Rock. So I'm glad they take interest in Florida, and that's what we need, and that's what this show is about, is the recognition that these fighters need. Now listen, in the amateur world, there was over 1,000 fighters. Now would I love to give an award to all 1,000 fighters? Absolutely. Everyone played a part in making MMA grow here in Florida. Same with the pros, 209 fighters. I would love to give 209 fighters the awards for their participation and bringing up the sport and everything else. But the bottom line is that, they get nominated by their performances, so everybody who was nominated in the pro world, they were all undefeated this year, and then we let the fans decide which one is their favorite, which is their favorite fighter. So I want everybody to vote. If they weren't happy with the votes, go to FloridaMMAEvents.com and vote. FloridaMMAAwards.com as well. So you got 2 websites that you can participate and make sure that you get your win.
Now, you had a lot of celebrity fighters here as well tonight, some UFC fighters, some were presenting, some were receiving awards. Talk to us a little bit about some of the big names that were here this evening.
Oh, well, you know what? The support from UFC has been tremendous and amazing, and we thank you so much for that, But, my favorite, I would tell you my favorite. Mike Rio has always been my favorite. He's an amazing guy. Marcus Brimage, he's another gentleman who is just so humble. Won last year's award, as a matter of fact, for Best UFC. And Ricardo Laborio, the Man of the Year, who won that award. Ricardo Laborio is the Man of the Year for 2013. His speech was amazing. We love what he does. He's the sole responsibility for bringing up these fighters, and with the ATT American Top Team at the headquarters in Coconut Creek. So to me, that was the highlight for me, is having Ricardo Laborio come to the show and just embrace what we're doing and seeing what we're trying to do with this stuff, and bring Florida MMA to another level. And that's it. It's nothing about me or anybody else. It's a joint effort for everybody that's here. Supporting every school that came to support tonight, every fighter that came to support tonight. Charles Rosa, which is another fighter, which is amazing. He had a perfect record in the amateur world, decided to go pro, went pro, and is currently 7-0. He just won his last fight yesterday and came to the award show tonight. So thank you, Charles Rosa, for making that happen and being a part of Florida MMA. So it's people like that who we want to say thank you to. Listen, you fought all your life. and sweat, blood, and tears in the amateur world. You went to the pro worlds, you tested yourself, and till this day, as far as Charles Rosa is concerned, as just an example, he's 7-0. The man's amazing, and sure he's going to get tested. Sure, he's bringing the people out and getting him better. And I think if you ask him, he's like, well, that's what's going to make me better, is fighting better people than me,
This year you added the Amateur Awards division. Any changes for next year's 2014 MMA Award Show?
Absolutely, a lot of changes. As we continue doing this award show and bringing the recognition that it deserves and needs with these fighters, matchmakers, promoters, CFA, #1 promoter of the year again this year. They won last year. XFC had best matchmaker of the year. John Prisco's doing amazing stuff over there with the XFC. In attendance, Island Fights, RFC, all those guys were nominated today. Championship Fighting Alliance walked away with the win. And it's the fan base. It's the fan base that says, thank you. Thank you for doing what you're doing. And again, we just put it out there. I'm not voting. You know what I mean? It's just the fans are going on the website, FloridaMMAAwards.com, and they're voting for their favorite promoter. So, as much as we want to market the website and market everything else, if you're a true MMA fan, go to see any of the shows in South Florida, whether it be CFA, whether it be RFC, whether it be Island Fights, whether it be XFC with John Prisco. It doesn't matter. Go support Florida MMA. If you're really a true fan, go support these guys. They're doing an amazing job. They're putting their stuff on the line. The fighters are putting themselves on the line. We should all support Florida MMA.
Frank Morejon, founder of South Florida MMA Awards. Always an honor and a pleasure.
Same
Thank you
here.
so much.
Same here.
We can't wait to see you next year.